Following Stewart-Haas Racing's withdrawal from NASCAR at the end of the 2024 season and the retirement of former Cup Series champion Martin Truex Jr., Chase Briscoe is set to take over the number 19 car at Joe Gibbs Racing for 2025. But is he the right man to take JGR into the future? Born on December 15, 1994 in Mitchell, Indiana, Chase grew up in a family steeped in motorsport tradition. His father, Kevin Briscoe, was a decorated sprint car driver and a 5-time champion at the family's hometown track of Tri-State Speedway, while his grandfather Richard worked as an owner for several sprint car races. For Chase, racing was never going to be just a hobby. While Kevin was initially against the idea of his son taking up a racing career, with enough convincing, Chase was eventually given the green light to take up the sport. Briscoe cut his teeth on dirt tracks across the state of Indiana, racing sprint cars from a young age. By the time he was 13, he had already secured his first 410 sprint car victory, making him the youngest driver to do so at that level, having broken a record set by Jeff Gordon, who was 14 when he first won a non-wing sprint car race. But Chase wasn't content with local success. He had his sights set on the big leagues. In 2016, Briscoe took a significant step forward by competing in his first full-time season in the ARCA Racing Series, having made 2 starts the previous year and select starts in the ARCA West Series in 2013. Driving for Cunningham Motorsports, he delivered a dominant season as he won 6 races with an average start of 4.1 and an average finish of 5.2, cruising to the championship with ease. This was the moment when teams really started to pay attention. The following year, Briscoe joined Brad Keselowski Racing in the Truck Series. Despite being a rookie, he demonstrated immense potential, having earned 4 poles and 7 top 5 finishes. While he did miss the championship 4 after a decent playoff run, Chase's crowning moment in the Truck Series came at that championship race in Homestead, securing his first Truck Series win as he led 81 laps on the day. From 2018 until 2020, Briscoe competed in the Xfinity Series as he started with part-time rides at Roush and eventual Cup Series suitors SHR as he steadily improved each season. His breakout year came in 2020, where he racked up 9 wins, 16 top 5s and 22 top 10s, including marquee wins at Darlington and Indianapolis, his home race. To put this in perspective, his 9 wins in a single season were the most by any Xfinity driver since Kevin Harvick put up his 9-win season 14 years prior. While Briscoe's performance in 2020 placed him among the championship favourites and qualified for the championship 4, he fell at the final hurdle. Despite leading 41 laps on the day, he faltered early in the championship race, eventually losing his shot at the title to Penske driver Austin Cindric. In 2021, Briscoe made the jump to the NASCAR Cup Series, taking over the iconic number 14 car for SHR following the retirement of Clint Bowyer at the conclusion of the previous season. While his rookie campaign saw its share of struggles as the 14 team missed the playoffs, he still managed 3 top 10 finishes and earned Rookie of the Year honours above Anthony Alfredo, though he was technically the only other rookie in that class of 2021. This achievement cemented him as only the 3rd driver in NASCAR history to win Rookie of the Year honours in the Trucks, Xfinity and Cup Series. The following season would be different though. Having narrowly missed out on victory in the Daytona 500 by a gutting 0.09 of a second to Austin Cindric, the same man who had denied him victory in the 2020 Xfinity Championship, Chase came out swinging for the rest of the first half of the season. His breakthrough moment came in the 4th round at Phoenix Raceway, as he put on a clinic in patience and precision to hold off Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick, as he led 101 laps to claim his first Cup Series victory. This win not only silenced critics from the previous year, but established Briscoe as a legitimate contender in NASCAR's top series. After a quiet end to 2022 following a short playoff run, 2023 suggested a minor regression for him, as he would not win another race in the Cup Series and his average finish would fall 3 whole places from a 17.3 to a 20.3. A large part of this can be chalked up to Stewart-Haas's decline in performance across the board, as the entire organisation, including franchise driver Kevin Harvick, went winless. Aric Almirola's Daytona dual win, of course, notwithstanding, as it wasn't technically a points-paying race. This year marked Briscoe's return to form, at a time where his future was seemingly on the line following the announcement of SHR's withdrawal from Cup competition, with fans wondering where he would go next. And we get an answer to that question the next month, as news broke that he would be joining Joe Gibbs Racing, though the announcement didn't exactly go as planned.
there really is a leadership role in that aspect. You know, and whenever Chase comes into the car, whenever I don't even know what to say.
Chase actually had a bit of fun with it after the fact on his Reddit account, joking about how the news had leaked prematurely. Briscoe's Reddit's actually home to quite a few little gems, from behind the scenes footage to some funny takes on NASCAR as a whole. It's definitely worth a look if you haven't seen it already. Hey, if I'm lucky, maybe you'll even catch wind of this video. While his stats from last year didn't quite match up to his 2022 season, as he only managed an average finish of 18.8 this time around, Briscoe was still able to capture his second career victory at the Southern 500, and made it to the playoffs, where he did unfortunately make an exit in the first round after a string of difficult performances. So how does Chase Briscoe stack up against his peers, and is it reasonable to call him championship material, or the future of JGR just yet? Well, let's compare his Cup Series starts from the last 3 years to those of Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick, two other drivers who entered the Cup Series at a similar time to Briscoe, and are at a similar age. So over the last 3 seasons, Christopher Bell has 8 wins, 37 top 5s, and an average finish of 13.1. Tyler Reddick has 8 wins, 32 top 5s, and an average finish of 15.5. Meanwhile, Chase Briscoe only has 2 wins, 13 top 5s, and an average finish of 18.8. So the stats don't quite work in Briscoe's favour, being the weakest of the 3 drivers on the surface. But his numbers do still indicate a competitive trajectory, and those of a competent driver, especially considering the relative struggles of SHR in recent years when compared to Richard Childress Racing, 2311, and JGR. And at just 30 years of age coming into 2025, Chase Briscoe still has quite a lot of time left on the clock to refine his craft. If JGR can maintain the form that they've shown for the last 10 to 15 years, there's no real doubt in my mind that Briscoe has what it takes to at least compete for more race wins, and potentially a few championships down the line. While the 19 team he is inheriting is coming off the back of a troubled final season with Martin Truex Jr., who just seemed to be done with the sport before 2023 had even begun, I'm excited to see what Briscoe can pull together with a group of experienced guys who have potential championship winning equipment on their hands week in, week out. So, from his early days as a dirt tracker all the way to the Cup Series, Chase Briscoe's journey is far from over. Whether he becomes a perennial championship contender, or simply just a solid Cup driver, it remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. Chase Briscoe has already made his mark on NASCAR, and he's going to be here to stay. So that's the end of the video. If you made it this far, I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Since this is my first video, there's not really much I can put on an ending screen, but if there's anything you particularly liked, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Same applies if there's anything I should make an effort to improve on, or anything that I got wrong. Thank you once again for watching, and hopefully I'll see some of you in the next one.